I can't go on. I'll go on. Those are the last words in a novel by Samuel Beckett. Beckett was an Irish poet and novelist and playwright of the 20th century, maybe one of the most influential writers of the century. And he finished a novel with those words, I can't go on. I'll go on. If you've lived a little, if you've gone through some things, if you've been around, you have felt this way. I can't go on. I'll go on. Now, over the years we've been together, you've heard me tell many stories about my daughter, Marie, the one with the disabilities who's taught me so much. I have to say that in church, I have told you pretty much the good stuff. Things were pretty bleak, however, 25 years ago before I met you, when she was about 8 years old. She was tormented, she was violent, and she was unmanageable. My wife and I hit the wall. It was bad. It was really, really bad. We got to the point where we simply could not go on. And words fail me when I try to tell you how dark our days became. We couldn't go on. But what else was there to do? Somehow, we went on. I can't go on. I'll go on. This past week, I was reading from a book of psychology, and I read the story of Mark Giroux. He was a college student athlete, a really good one. He and his friends went out one night and they drank way too much. And after all this drinking, there was a terrible car accident. Mark was paralyzed from the waist down. Now, you'd think anyone who became a paraplegic would sink into depression. Giroux did not see it that way. He went on to become a championship wheelchair rugby player. And he said something remarkable. He said this, "In truth, my accident has been the best thing that could have happened to me. I'm not trying to be glib when I say this or rationalize my huge mistakes or offer you a steaming bowl of bullcrap flavored chicken soup for the soul. What I am saying is that it has been the single most defining event of my life. And without it, I would not have seen the things that I've seen, or done the things that I've done, or met so many incredible people. I would not have become a world-class athlete. I would not have come to understand my family and my friends the way I have, and feel the kind of love they have for me and I have for them." Mark Giroux's capacity to make the most of life since his traumatic accident is a remarkable triumph of the human spirit. I know I couldn't say about my past what he said about his. Most people will say that they'd rather die than go through what Giroux went through. His accomplishments are exceptional and inspiring. But it turns out that his recovery and his outlook are not as unusual as we might think. Most people who go through such a traumatic loss do go on to live satisfying lives with about as much joy as anyone else, and about as much sadness and frustration, for that matter. We all suffer misfortunes from time to time, some greater, some lesser. Most of us gradually get back up again. Adaptation is a great human asset. I can't go on. I'll go on. I have seen so many of you keep going in the face of tragedy. Pastors and priests stand in awe as we watch the people we serve go through troubles and heartaches that we would fear to experience ourselves. I can't go on. I'll go on. Today's story from Luke's Gospel picks up right where last Sunday's left off. It's a golden moment. Jesus was baptized, and at his baptism he heard the voice of God speaking to him from heaven. And then after that, he goes off into the wilderness on a successful vision quest. And then he begins as a teacher and a healer, and everyone thinks he's great. And then he comes to his hometown in the power of the Spirit, and it's great again for a little while. His hometown, though, ends up turning against him. They even try to lynch him. It had to be a crushing disappointment. How would he feel? How would you feel? What did he do? The text says, he went on his way. I can't go on. I'll go on. Jesus is our model. Jesus is our friend. I can't go on. I'll go on. How do we do it? Well, there is that human resilience that God seems to have built into us, that quality of adapting to what is now. And there are the ones who love us, a spouse, a partner, a friend, a sibling, a parent, a child, someone who keeps you going, someone who keeps you sane, someone who keeps you alive. I can't go on. I'll go on. If you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, the people of Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous or Al-Anon will be there for you day or night. If you get your heart broken, remember you've got a friend, and even if that friend is far away, all it takes is a phone call or a text or an email. If you need a friend, this church is one of those special places where you can find one. I can't go on. I'll go on. There are people in this place here today who want to be there for you. As your priest and your pastor, I want to be there for you. And I believe Jesus is there for you. Life is hard. If you've been around a while, you know that. Life is tough. Just live a few years. You'll find that out. Life doesn't go according to our plans. That's just the human condition. I can't go on. I'll go on. Jesus is our model. Jesus is our friend. So, together, let's go on.